60 seconds to better health, what you can change now that could add years on your life later.
Plus, many of us have heard of Tai Chi, but don't quite know what it is. Today, we're learning these moves could be the start to a better night's sleep and how it can help you feel years younger.
The seasons are changing, and that means you may want to update your hair color for the fall. Coming up, what you need to know when it comes to changing your hair color.
And a gurgle sound here could mean trouble out there. Why? You may want to start listening to how your toilet flushes. Delmarva Live starts right now.
What a way to start a Monday, start a show. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lisa Bryant.
I'm Jimmy Hopple. Welcome to Delmarva Live from historic Studio D.
And we'd like to welcome our studio audience this afternoon.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah, glad you're here.
Okay, so by applause, since the cameras are facing this way, by applause, how many of you felt that Saturday morning earthquake? Yeah, don't feel bad. It's one of our hot topics this afternoon. There's actually an earthquake in Frederick County.
Well, that's why we didn't feel it.
2.1, and according to USGS, they say that they call that a microquake, and most of the time people don't feel it. But
yeah, I was gonna say they probably didn't even feel it in Frederick County.
Yeah,
nothing like the big quake of 2011 last August.
When the Washington Monument went like this.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was crazy. So 2.1.
2.1. Fortunately, all the dishes stayed on the shelf. We're good to go. Want to say congratulations this afternoon to Sergeant Antonio Gaddis. Here he is right there. He received a plaque talking about his valor from the Sikorsky Helicopter Company. You've heard of the Great Berlin Air Show.
Oh, yeah.
Opening day of that. Sikorsky presented him as well as the pilot of the aircraft. That's not the aircraft behind him, but it's like the one that he was flying. They flew in and they rescued 11 Germans that were in trouble. And just as an indication of their appreciation, Sikorsky gave them a plaque to say thank you for going and do that. And that's how they opened the Berlin Air Show on September 11th. So
congratulations.
Congratulations. He used to live in Salisbury. His dad still lives. His dad still lives in Salisbury.
Oh, okay.
So
proud papa.
Neat stuff there.
We all know that older Americans are working more.
Yep.
So there is actually a free public celebration to recognize National Employ Older Workers Week next week.
Right, big thing.
Yeah.
This is something you can take part in. First State Community Action's Senior Employment Program is hosting a continental breakfast. It's going to be in Georgetown. And if you want to find out more about it, here's the number for you to call, 302-856-7761. It's just a little something to say thank you for those that are getting out and working hard.
Yeah, thank you, Jimmy. Yeah. You're an older... I can't believe I clapped along with me.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have Drexel color this just to get all this taken care of.
Well, we're talking fall colors later. Maybe we'll, touch it up a little bit. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. It is also something near and dear to my heart, and after raising 3 children, safely driving them around in the car. National Child Passenger Safety Week kicked off actually yesterday. It focuses on proper use of car seats, and I cannot stress this enough. It is very, very, very important that you have your child safely buckled in their car safety seats. The Division of Motor Vehicles in Dover, is one of the places you can get them checked out. But car accidents are the leading killer of children 1 to 12 years old in the United States. And a seat like the ones we saw there, whether it's an infant seat, a toddler seat, a booster seat, is so important to keeping your kids safe because, we always say, well, I'm not going to be in an accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really want to protect your children. So all this week, there are different places where you can actually take your car and with the car seat, find out if you're putting your child in the seat correctly. And if you want to find out where those places are, there's actually, we're going to put some information on delmarvalife.com so you can find out. There's a lot of places. I mentioned one in Dover. 75% of parents don't put their children, restrain their children properly in their cars.
That amazes me, and I'll be honest with you. A lot of times I think, well, I got this right. Now I'm wondering, did I have it right?
Did you have it right? Yeah. So, fortunately, you didn't have to find out. But I mean, we've heard lots of stories about children hurt in accidents, and I've heard lots of stories where children could have been hurt had they not been restrained properly. So yeah, go out there and make sure you're doing it right.
Check it out. Just make sure. The Women's Heart Program at PRMC's Guerreri Heart and Vascular Institute going to travel to Worcester County. That's going to be tomorrow. What they're going to do, it's a non-invasive screening assessment for heart disease. You see that bus right there? Take a good look at that, because that's what you're looking for. It's the Wagner Wellness Van. Women can go there for the non-invasive screening. They're going to be at the Berlin Shopping Center, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning until noon. You do need to call for an appointment. There's the number, 410-543-7026. It's a $50, let me make sure I get this right. Yeah, $50 fee with each health check and assessment. If you're going to participate, you don't have a cardiologist. Okay, that's the big thing. They're trying to make sure they touch the women who are in need of it most. So if you don't already have a cardiologist, and if you're really not sure, head to the Berlin Shopping Center tomorrow morning, $50 fee, and they can do a non-invasive screening and find out more about that.
Yeah, heart disease, not something to be messed around with. I read an article earlier today in the Cape Gazette, and it was about an incident that happened in Rehoboth Beach about a week ago. A Rehoboth police officer, Sergeant Scott O'Brien, got a call about a fox. You know, we have fox on Delmarva. Right. This particular fox was eating a boogie board. You know, a boogie board?
Like eating a boogie board.
It was eating a boogie board. Some man called in and said, there is a fox eating my kid's boogie board.
Well, that's not good.
Nothing you want to mess with, right? Right. So Sergeant O'Brien, or O'Brien went out to, O'Beer, as I said, went out to check on that. By the time he got there, the fox was gone. Okay. Well, then he got another call that the fox bit a woman. Ooh. So like he's thinking, you know, we need to find this fox. In the meantime, it bit 2 women.
Oh my.
This has all happened within a span of like an hour. Turns out the first woman that the fox bit actually was trying, the fox bit her ankle, and was trying to beat it with her purse. Okay. And the fox took her purse and ran off with it. So it's a purse snatching, boogie board eating fox, okay? So the night is getting really strange. Yeah. Long story short, the police officer found the fox eventually, found him in an abandoned home in Rehoboth, actually was able to spotlight it and shoot it and kill it. And he says that when he was trying to kill it, he wanted to make sure he didn't hurt the head, because that's where they test for rabies, is in the brain. Killed the fox. Turns out the fox was rabid.
Oh.
Yeah, so the 2 women got the treatment for so that they won't get rabies, and you know, the fox is eradicated, but just goes to prove, don't mess with these animals, you see, you know? I mean, it's funny, haha, he was eating the boogie board, he snatched the woman's purse, but that could end up to be far worse than it is. So we want to congratulate Sergeant Scott O'Brien for moving and thinking so quickly, and of course we speedy recovery to the women.
We were talking about this before. Does anybody know, do they still do the rabies shots in the belly button? Have they got something else that they're doing now?
Yeah, I don't know. I remember the series of shots in your belly button. Yeah. I don't know how they do that.
You got bitten as a child, didn't
I got bitten as a child, but fortunately the animal was not rabid.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
That was a long time ago. Still have the scars, too.
Still got scars. Let me tell you about this guy in Ohio. Guy's driving along, has a flat, okay? Good Samaritan stops to help him out, and while the Good Samaritan is changing the flat, the guy who had the flat starts telling him about how another time this Good Samaritan 8 years ago stopped to help him out. He got a fish hook caught in his hand, and this Good Samaritan who'd been out kayaking stopped, helped him get it out. Turns out, same guy.
Oh, really?
Same guy.
Same Good Samaritan.
8 years later.
Or no, same Good
Samaritan, same guy that he helped.
Oh my goodness.
So the guy that he was helping said, you know what, I appreciate that. You know, let me take you out fishing sometime. The guy got to thinking about the fish hook. He said, let's go bowling.
Yeah,
true story.
Sounds like a better.
True story.
Oh, how many football fans do we have in here? Anybody watch the games yesterday? The Ravens, Eagles, the Steelers, the Cowboys, all of them, Redskins. They were all playing. Well, there was a little bit of talk amongst football fans about the officiating. More specifically, the replacement refs.
I think I just heard a groan out there in the audience.
You did hear a groan?
I think I did.
And some of that talk is coming from Ravens quarterback Joe Flacco saying, you know, this, he sounded off about these replacement referees. He's saying that you know, there's just some big problems going on the field. And I was reading an article on ESPN.com from Jamison Hensley, and he said that he agrees with Flacco because during the game yesterday, it just felt like the referees did not have a handle. They lost control of the Ravens-Eagles game early and often. There was shoving, there were fights. It was obvious the players had no respect for any man with a whistle. It was hard for anyone to take the replacement refs seriously when they couldn't keep track of timeouts and had 2 2-minute warnings in the fourth quarter. So he says that's why the game lasted so long, 3 hours and 38 minutes. So a lot of people talking about it this morning.
Everybody griping about the refs, these lousy refs.
I think it's interesting, though. A lot of people, and I don't want to start any fuss, but most of the people who are crying about the refs are the ones who root for the losing team.
My, how did that happen?
Yeah,
but I got to tell you, our executive editor, Renee, brought up something very interesting.
Yeah.
Talking about that Ravens game specifically. These aren't little kids.
No,
Come on, really?
no. Yeah.
They get paid millions of dollars as professional athletes, and here they're pushing, shoving. Stop! No, you stop.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
stop.
let's fool the refs. It's like the substitute teacher, you know?
Yeah.
Sitting in class and goof off.
May not necessarily be the sub.
Yeah. So.
Okay, football.
Yeah.
Baseball.
Okay.
Orioles keep plugging along. They are now. By the way, Matt Wieters, he hit 2 solo home runs yesterday. Andy Chavez, 4 hits, helped the Baltimore O's beat the Oakland A's 9-5 Sunday. They are within a game of the Yankees.
Wow.
In the AL East.
What a year for the O's.
Finally.
And
I mean, yes.
Yes.
What a great year. Finally. Even the O's fans will admit to that.
Speaking of competition, you may have seen that American Idol released its panel of judges this year. Of course, Randy Jackson is coming back. He's the only veteran, but joining him will be Mariah Carey, Keith Urban, and Nicki Minaj. She's the one with the funny-looking hair.
With the funny hair.
In case y'all don't know that.
Yeah.
So we decided to put it to Facebook and see what some of our viewers think of the new panel. And Julie said, "I'll watch out of curiosity unless the Voice or X Factor is on. Nicki isn't right for the show. They need more class. I love Nicki's music, but her persona is just too ridiculous."
Too ridiculous.
Too ridiculous.
Sarah came up with this one. It looks like the McDonald's characters.
Joe Alice says, "My mother taught me not to say the things that would be my comments." Oh my, listen to your mama.
And Bevan said, "Mariah, yes. Keith, yes. Randy, yes. Nicki, no. She's only going to be wearing strange outfits and trying to get attention."
Because as we know, no one tries to get attention on American Idol, ever, especially in those early
it's all about
auditions.
the artist and the competition.
Yeah, it's all about the music, but I gotta agree with her. I don't know about the Nicki Minaj thing.
Yeah, that one's kind of.
It is. It's kind of out there.
She'll be the Britney Spears. She'll be the oddball. Anyway, when it comes, do we have dog owners? Anybody? You guys have dogs? Not so much on Delmarva, but there are a lot of places that when it turns winter, you've got very sharp ice crystals, you've got snow, you got to worry about frostbites in the dog. So what you do is they've got these little booties that you put on the dog.
Right.
And of course you want to acclimate the dog so that you don't get out in the snow and the dog's trying to get the booties off. Well, when you do that, when it's not snowing outside, something like this happens.
Aw, how adorable.
Who put this on here and why can't I get it off?
Maybe he doesn't like yellow.
There is one. I don't know if we'll actually get to it because they're all absolute. Watch this big guy.
Aww.
Mom, there's something on my foot. Could you please take this off?
I don't even want to think about what my dog would do. I wouldn't be able to get him on my dog to begin with.
If you want to see some of the funniest dog video, and people are saying, "Oh, but you're stressing out the animal." No. You're just acclimating the dogs to the boots for when the winter weather comes. Dogs in Boots compilation, I think is what it is on YouTube.
Okay, but we'll put it on DelmarvaLife.com so that they don't have to remember that.
That's right.
That website.
It's hilarious. It's great.
Well, coming up on Delmarva Life, do you know what the right hair color is for your skin tone? Coming up, we'll show you how the answer is all in your wrist.
Has nothing to do with Nicki Minaj. Plus, we all have some aches or pains, right? Well, now you can ease some of the pressure and feel years younger just by making some simple moves.
And lending a helping hand to kids in need. How you can help a child succeed by just giving up a little bit of your time. Delmarva Life, life at its best here on Delmarva.
Delmarva Life is brought to you by Sussex County Federal Credit Union, guiding you to your financial future. Peninsula Regional Medical Center, honored to serve the entire Delmarva Peninsula since 1897. And your local York and Mitsubishi dealers.